This video is sponsored by AG1 by Athletic Greens. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're out here in Indiana at this $50,000 shootout event, and Adam's been going a little crazy with gel guns, like splatter ball guns and like that. He bought like 15 of them. I don't know. He bought way too many. There's no internet out here, and I needed to go to Walmart to upload a thumbnail for his video, and I was like, why not? Let's go shopping. So I got this. No one say a word. I'm hiding it. I'm waiting. When the time is right, I'm gonna bust it out and I'm gonna kill everyone. I guess if we're having a gunfight, we gotta have a real gunfight.
Oh my god! God! I feel like we're 12 all over it. No, it looks just as bad as your one. Return it. No,
this one is better than this one.
Hey, built, not bought. It'll work, huh? Oh, dude. That was holy shit! What's different about that one?
I'm using the GoPro to film.
Oh, he's coming. Where'd you get that one?
Walmart.
Oh
really?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you leveled up. What's this one, like a 1200? 1200? Bro, you can't just like punk us like that.
Oh. Who's doing it? Who did it?
Hey, y'all just take one for the team on that. We need a rule with those like no within like
That thing
ain't
feet.
No, it's good.
I saw you pointed at me. I'm like, you know what? Maybe not.
Shoot Jimmy so you can feel it.
Jimmy?
Yeah, he wants to feel it. Yeah, shoot his arm. Does that one hurt that? Is that one any stronger?
Don't fucking take your finger off the trigger.
Is it
Beat your ass. Hey.
This video is sponsored by AG1 by Athletic Greens. AG1 by Athletic Greens is much more than a greens powder. It's a nutritional drink that has me really excited about simplifying my health routine. It has 75 different ingredients, including vitamins, minerals, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. Now, you guys have heard me talk about AG1 by Athletic Greens before, and they're one of the sponsored items that I have done that I've actually gone back and used many times, to the point where I've actually ran out of the AG1 that I had before. Being that I live at the compound, it is located pretty much in the middle of nowhere, and finding healthy food sometimes can be very tough, and AG1 has helped me a ton with that. There are 75 different ingredients to help me with midday hunger, and on top of that, especially energy. AG1 by Athletic Greens contains natural forms of B12, biotin, and a few other ingredients that serve as an awesome energy booster throughout the day, especially when I forget to get coffee in the morning. This stuff has been really great. It's extremely easy to use, just one scoop of powder a day or one travel packet a day in their special AG1 cup or in any bottled water. Just pour your AG1 in, stir it or shake it up, and you're good to go. AG1 is NSF certified for sports, and on top of that, it's also vegan, paleo, and keto friendly. The best part about it too, it tastes really good. It's got a little hint of pineapple and it's just the right amount of flavor. You can go to athleticgreens.com/divine to get started on your order. Athletic Greens is going to give my community a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Thank you, Athletic Greens, for sponsoring this video. I love your product. I'm gonna keep on drinking it and help my day-to-day routine. Now back to the video. So I bought a car, and it's not here. It's not in the US. If you guys remember, probably like this time last year, I bought a car. I had bought a car, but it turned out to be a little stinker. So I ended up selling, it's so hot in here. I ended up selling that car back to the auctions. There's the leak right there. By the way, free jet tags are now being included in every order on my website. Little plug, but it's a cool item. Figured that you guys would enjoy it when you order something. Doesn't require any certain dollar amount. You order anything off the site, you get a free jet tag. Anyways, I bought that car. I was driving back one morning from getting coffee, and Adam texted me and he was like, "It's your time to shine." And he sent me a link. He sent me a bunch of photos for this car. And it's the same kind of car I purchased last year. I guess I could just say it. I bought a extremely good condition Toyota Century, and I am so unbelievably pumped. Everything checks out on the car. It's legal, so it'll be going on the boat heading over here at the end of the month. It's the perfect spec, it's in perfect shape, and I could not be more stoked. The only downside is it was really expensive. Once I saw how good a condition the car was in, I basically placed a fuck you bid on it to outbid everyone else on the auction site, and I won, but it ended up going for my fuck you price. So I paid a really pretty penny for the car, but it's gonna be worth it when it gets here. It's the absolute king of VIP Japanese cars, and I'm so stoked. I cannot wait to show you guys. That car will be here in about a month and a half or so. But right now, we're rolling up to the shop because the Supra Engine Bay got painted in the last video, and it's time to start putting some stuff back in there. I fucking love how these came out. I hope you guys do too. Link in the description. I want to do this as kind of like a appreciation for you guys being so awesome. Oh, baby, look at this thing. Oh, it is so beautiful. Hey, the light decided to work today. Perfect for me, because I have a bunch of shit to do. All right, so I've got a little bit of a plan of attack here for getting this stuff back in the engine bay. A lot of this stuff needs to get refreshed, and I bought some stuff to help me do that. Not a sponsor, would love to be sponsored, but SEM, if you guys have never used SEM, they're like some of the best paint to use for automotive stuff. Trim Black is like a perfect match to factory trim, and I plan to use it on stuff like this cowl. It's gonna refresh it and restore it to look brand new once again. It already looks pretty close, but there's some faded spots. In terms of brackets and things that go back into the engine bay itself, I got cans of Steel It, and Steel It is basically like powder coat in a can. You can weld through it, you can do a bunch of cool stuff. It's super durable. I'm pretty sure the interior of one of Duarte's cars is completely done with Steel It, and it looks really good. So I'm gonna use that for the brackets. I got a gray, like a steel gray one for doing stuff like this to restore these kind of pieces. And then the last little thing that I got was just a little kit on Amazon of some nylon washers. Basically, you can use these to put in between hardware that you're putting back in the engine bay so it doesn't scratch up your paint. I've seen a lot of people, once they get bays painted, they just slap the bolts and hardware back in and it cracks the paint and scuffs it all up. So trying to avoid that, especially with stuff like the strut tower bolts and a few other brackets. So brought the tripod this time. I'm gonna start going through all this pile of stuff that I have here that needs to go back into the car, and we'll get it all refreshed. I have some Scotch-Brite as well to freshen up the AC lines, make those look brand new. And I got a ton of pictures that I gotta look back through because I took pictures before I took everything apart. So I need to make sure everything goes back correct. Wish me luck. Gotta hurry before it starts raining. It's like clockwork down here. Had to get the brake booster inside as quick as possible because the bugs are starting to come out and I don't want them landing in the paint. But overall, things are going well so far. It's taken a lot longer than I expected because every single little piece that I'm doing, I'm being extremely meticulous and just scuffing alcohol paint install, scuff alcohol paint install. So it's taken a while, but I cleaned up both hood latches, got those installed properly, got nice nylon washers in between. Same thing with the strut tower stuff. Hood prop is in, rubbers are in, washer fluid's in. I realized I need to put a little bracket behind that, so I'll have to take that back off. Brake booster, I did an extremely light one coat on it. This stuff lays down super thick and I don't want it to run, so I'm leaving it just at that. It smooths out really, really nicely while it's drying. A couple other things that I painted was like the horn and a couple bolts and stuff that are going to be going back in here. I gave the hood bolts a nice flat gray steel it look. I'm going to install a couple other things and then I'll probably call it and start on this again tomorrow. Tomorrow I would love to lay out this chassis harness and get it clean, super, super clean, and then slowly start reinstalling that. Stoked to how this is coming along. The black in the engine bay pops so well and it looks phenomenal. Tomorrow if I can do the wiring harness and get all the AC stuff back and ran and everything like that all good to go, that'd be sick. I do not want to rush this whatsoever. If I start rushing things, then I'm going to start scratching stuff. I'm going to miss things. So I'm taking my time with this. And I'm glad that I am because this is going to turn out so good. This is why I love Steel It. One coat, super light coat. Look at how even it lays out. Looks OEM as fuck. It's perfect. I taped up the little sticker on the top, so I'll peel that off tomorrow. Get that installed. Installed a couple other little things. Some things are still drying that I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to put in. I got both horns on mounted. I got the coolant overflow mounted. Tomorrow I'll go ahead and I'll get the covers mounted on there and then I can run the AC lines. Little pro tip, if you paint an engine bay and you don't cover up all of the threads and stuff that you plan to actually mount things to, clean the threads before you actually put a nut or a bolt on there. It can actually snap the threads because there's so much tension because there's paint on it. It's happened to me a couple times in the past. It's something that I remembered and that I'm doing before I'm mounting things. But it's late. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, this is the scary part. Spent a good amount of time cleaning the harness, got everything ready, good to go. Want to get the chassis harness in here in this video. Taped up the front end because I'm going to have to start in one area and slowly kind of drag it in there. Hopefully everything goes good and I don't scratch anything. Going to be very meticulous and very careful and slow with all of this, so we'll see. Everything went very smooth getting the harness back in the car. The harness is in like amazing shape. I'm very surprised honestly because Florida is so unbelievably hot and hot weather like this is horrible for rubber and plastics, and the harness is like factory. Everything is in such good shape. I didn't break a single clip on the harness or anything coming out of this car. So everything went back in seamlessly, exactly where it's supposed to be. Every single clip is functional, works As it should. I'm definitely being very OCD putting this thing back together, making sure everything that I put on here looks really, really good. The only thing that I wish that I had done was either do like black zinc for hardware or factory just like gunmetal hardware. A lot of it is in really, really good shape, but there's a couple bolts that are kind of eh. Down here, for example, that bolt looks great. I'm trying to use as many good bolts as I can and save all of the cruddy looking ones for locations where people won't be able to see them. So everything that needs to be plugged in is plugged in. Everything under the dash is plugged in as it should. There's a few other things that I gotta wait on before I can start plugging other stuff in. I still gotta do the AC lines and all that stuff, refresh all of those things. The wiper arms were a little faded, so they're outside drying. I did SEM trim black on those, so those are gonna look awesome. Put those back on. I'm stoked on this thing. It is come a far way in a shorter amount of time than I expected. Once the bay got painted, everything just went back together really, really well. Everything looks awesome. I still need to figure out how I'm gonna clean these up properly, find like a local vapor honer, or maybe I can ship them up to Tommy and have them cleaned up. Both the alternator and the AC compressor work perfectly fine, so it'd be nice to get these nice and fresh and clean. I'm gonna hit up Tommy and see what he thinks. I'm gonna throw those wiper arms back on, and then we'll get started on the AC compressor lines, the AC cooler, cleaning that up, getting that installed, and this thing just keeps getting better and better. All right, I'm pretty pumped at how things have gone in this video. I got a lot in, and it's pretty much ready to go, aside from putting the power steering lines back in. But like, most of those are already in. I just got one set of lines that I can put in, but I'll save that for a future moment because that line likes to leak fluid everywhere, and I'll save that for last. But check it out, we got everything, and I mean everything, basically rerouted, ready to go to get plugged in. AC lines refreshed, fully installed, all plumbed, good to go. Just need the actual compressor and AC is complete. Entire chassis harness refreshed, rerouted, back to OEM position. Obviously some of these connectors are going to get deleted because those go to the igniters for when this thing was NA and had a distributor, so those things will get deleted in the future. Everything in the front end fully refreshed, reinstalled. This is looking phenomenal. I really couldn't be any more stoked with all of this. It turned out amazing. No casualties with paint, no scuffs, no scratches. Stoked. I just love everything being refreshed. The cowl, the wipers, the brake booster, all the horns, brackets, AC cooler, AC lines, everything. Everything looks perfect. This is a really satisfying video to make. I'm sure you could tell by the types of shots and stuff that were in it. I tried to make it very kind of satisfying to watch because it's satisfying to do. It's just a very tedious job of, you know, oh, this needs to be refreshed. Let's scuff it. Let's sand it. Let's rub it with alcohol. Let's steel it. Let's do all those things. So it takes a while to do, but over the course of the past 3 days, we got this far, got everything in. The pile that's back here is basically just fender liners. We are not going to be running ABS. I'm going to be getting a Powerhouse ABS delete kit. Obviously we'll refresh the master and put that in when the time comes. Definitely more of an OEM Plus style build, kind of taking inspiration after Tommy with this one. I wouldn't say it's FES spec, maybe it's one tier under. It's the best that I can do with what I got, so. Very stoked with this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I've been filming it over the past 3 days, so I think it's time to call it, end this one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the next time that I make a video with the Supra, we have the head back fully built by Outcast Performance, our good buddy Mike, our engine builder down here. Then we can start tearing this thing apart, making this look super nice, go all super crazy with this, and then it's just progress from there. Put it back in here, hook it all up. Hopefully this thing comes back together and in running condition in a few months. So I'm very, very stoked. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said earlier in the video, every new order on my site comes with a free jet tag. I appreciate y'all's support as always, and I'll see you in the next video.